This is a build-a-grade home. Vinyl siding, one boring beige, a flat front door, and about 400 identical houses just like it in the same zip code. Now watch this. Cut to the interior reveal, shot again. Slightly longer this time. 3 seconds. A moody, color-drenched living room, layered lighting, custom-looking millwork. That is the same house. Same floor plan. Same bones. Same build-a-grade everything. The owner didn't move walls. They didn't hire an architect. They didn't spend 6 figures. They spent less than most people spend on a used car. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how, tip by tip, dollar by dollar, with real 2026 prices. But I'm saving the full walkthrough of this exact house for the very end, because what they did to the primary bathroom is genuinely the best $50 transformation I have seen all year. So stick around. You do not want to miss it. Quick thing before we dive in. If you're into home stuff like this, hit subscribe now, because I break down real, priced out home upgrades every single week. No fluff. No, it depends on your contractor. Real numbers. And tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. Okay, let's get into it. If you bought a new construction home in the last few years, you already know the feeling. You walk in on closing day, everything is clean, everything works, nothing is broken. And somehow it still feels like it could belong to literally anybody. Builders aren't being lazy when they do this. They're being efficient. Basic finishes, simple layouts, and neutral everything keep costs down and construction timelines fast, especially in big developments where hundreds of homes are getting built at once. That's just the business model. But here's the part nobody tells you. That blank slate feeling is actually your biggest advantage. You are starting with a clean, undamaged canvas. No weird 1990s soffits to rip out. No asbestos surprises. No structural issues hiding behind the walls. You get to layer in the character, on your terms, on your budget, 1 weekend at a time. So today, 10 ways to do exactly that. I'm going cheapest and easiest first, and by the time we get to number 10, we'll be into the kind of upgrade that actually shows up in an appraisal. And again, the full reveal of the house from the intro is coming at the very end. Let's go. Number 1, and honestly the easiest win on this entire list. Swap your hardware. Builder-grade homes almost always ship with tiny, cheap, chrome or brushed nickel knobs. The same knob on every single cabinet and drawer in the house. It's a detail most homeowners don't even consciously notice, but your brain absolutely clocks it as generic. There are more of these knobs and pulls in your house than you'd think, which is actually good news. It means one afternoon project touches almost every room at once. Swap them for longer bar pulls in aged brass or matte black. Those two finishes are the current go-to because they read as timeless instead of trendy. You're not going to look back in 5 years and cringe. While you've got the screwdriver out, do the door handles and hinges too. A basic knob is a couple of dollars. A nice pull runs anywhere from $3 to $15 depending on finish and length. For an average kitchen and 2 bathrooms, you're realistically looking at somewhere between $80 and $200 total, and an afternoon of your time. That's it. That's the whole project. It is a Saturday task that instantly signals someone made intentional decisions in this house. Number 2, and if you ask designers what the single biggest giveaway of a builder-grade home is, this is almost always the first answer. Lighting. New builds tend to rely almost entirely on recessed lights. They're functional. They're cheap to install at scale, and they make a room feel flat, cold, and a little bit like a hotel hallway. There's no warmth, no focal point, nothing for your eye to land on. The fix is what designers call layering light. Instead of one flat source doing all the work, you mix a few different types. A pendant over the kitchen island, sconces flanking a bathroom mirror, a properly scaled flush mount or small chandelier in the entry instead of the builder's boob light. And this is the cheap part everyone skips, add dimmers. A basic dimmer switch is often under $15 and takes 10 minutes to install if you're comfortable with basic electrical. Otherwise, an electrician can usually knock out a handful in an hour. You don't need to relight the whole house at once. Start with the 3 or 4 fixtures people actually see first. Entry, kitchen island, primary bathroom. And you can transform how the whole home feels for well under $300. Lighting is one of those upgrades where the cost is genuinely low, but the visual impact is disproportionately huge. Number 3, and this one's actually the biggest interior design trend of 2026, Color drenching. Color drenching means painting the walls, trim, doors, and sometimes even the ceiling and cabinetry all in the same saturated color. Industry surveys have named it the single most popular color trend of the year, and searches for the term have hit an all-time high. The reason it works is almost a magic trick. When every surface in a room is the same color, your eye can't find the hard edges where wall meets ceiling meets trim, and the boundaries kind of dissolve. Counterintuitively, that often makes a small or awkward room feel bigger and more intentional, not smaller. It works best in enclosed spaces, a powder bath, a home office, a dining room, a primary bedroom, anywhere you can close the door and not worry about the color bleeding visually into the hallway. Deep greens, moody navy, warm charcoal, and earthy terracotta-adjacent reds are the shades designers keep reaching for this year, partly because Sherwin-Williams' own 2026 Color of the Year leans into that warm, grounded palette instead of the cool grays that dominated the last decade. If full drenching feels like too big a leap, there's a lighter version called color capping. Same color family, just used in varying tones or saturations across a space instead of one flat hue everywhere, so you get the depth without fully committing. Either way, a 5-gallon bucket of quality paint runs somewhere in the $50 to $90 range and can realistically cover an entire small to medium room, trim included. One pro tip that actually matters: keep the ceiling in a flat or matte finish, walls an eggshell, and trim and doors a sheen higher, like satin. That subtle shift in sheen is what keeps a drenched room looking designed instead of just painted. Number 4 is quiet, but it matters more than people expect. Window treatments. Bare windows make a room feel unfinished, even when literally everything else in the space is done. It doesn't have to be complicated, and you genuinely don't need to block the light if that's not your thing. A simple linen curtain panel, a woven Roman shade, even a basic ready-made pair from a big box store adds instant softness. It's the difference between a room that feels staged and a room that feels lived in and finished. Budget curtain panels start around $15 to $30 a pair, and a basic tension rod is another $10 to $20. For an average-sized house, say 8 to 10 windows in the main living spaces, you're looking at roughly $200 to $400 to do the whole main floor. It's one of the lowest effort, highest weight, did they redecorate, upgrades on this entire list. Okay, real quick, we're just over halfway to that full house reveal from the intro, and tip number 7 is where things start to get genuinely dramatic for very little money, so don't wander off yet. Let's keep going. Number 5, your kitchen cabinets. Not replacing them, refacing, repainting, or swapping the doors. Builders love basic white or gray shaker cabinets because they're cheap to mass produce and inoffensive to every possible buyer. Full custom cabinetry can run into the tens of thousands, but you don't need that. Designers consistently point to a few much cheaper moves. Repaint the boxes and doors in a color that isn't the exact same beige as every other house in your development, or order new cabinet door and drawer fronts. Plenty of companies will build replacement fronts to fit your exact existing boxes for a fraction of full replacement cost. Combine that with a hardware swap from tip 1, and you've completely changed the personality of the kitchen without touching plumbing, electrical, or layout. Budget cabinet paint kits, including primer and top coat, run roughly $70 to $150 for an average kitchen if you're doing it yourself over a weekend. Replacement door fronts vary a lot more, but a small kitchen can often be done for somewhere in the $600 to $1,500 range. Still a small fraction of a full cabinet replacement, which frequently starts around $8,000 to $10,000 and climbs fast from there. Number 6, trim and millwork, specifically board and batten. This is the one designers bring up over and over because builder-grade homes almost universally skimp on it. Minimal baseboards, no picture frame molding, flat hollow walls with zero architectural detail. Even a small amount of trim, a simple board and batten accent wall, some picture frame molding in a dining room, a little wainscoting in an entryway, reads as this home was designed because trim catches shadows and creates rhythm that a flat painted wall simply cannot. And this is genuinely one of the most DIY-friendly upgrades on the list. For interior work, a straight wall, not a staircase or a vaulted ceiling. Most motivated do-it-yourselfers can handle in a weekend. There are 2 paths: pre-made peel and stick or lightweight polystyrene panel kits that run roughly $40 to $110 for a standard-sized wall and install with adhesive in an afternoon, or the traditional route of primed MDF boards and battens you cut and nail yourself, running somewhere around $150 to $300 in materials for a standard accent wall, paint included. If you're doing the exterior instead, full board and batten siding, that's a bigger job, typically $5 to $19 per square foot installed, depending on material, with vinyl on the cheap end and cedar on the expensive end. But for the interior version we're talking about here, this is a genuinely weekend and under $300 upgrade that adds real architectural depth. Number 7, and this is where I promise things start getting a little more dramatic. You do not need to retile an entire bathroom to make it look custom. Designers point specifically to swapping out just a shower niche tile, adding a tile accent to a vanity wall, or introducing a texture tile like zellage in one small, contained area, rather than ripping out an entire shower surround. The trick is containment. Pick one focal spot, above the vanity, inside a shower niche, a small kitchen backsplash strip behind the stove, and go bold there, while leaving the rest of the space alone. A single small feature area might only need 1 or 2 boxes of tile, which keeps the total materials cost frequently under $150 to $300, even for genuinely striking tile, because you're covering a few square feet instead of an entire room. It reads as a deliberate, expensive feeling design decision, but the receipt tells a very different story. Number 8, bathroom mirrors and vanity lighting. This one is deceptively simple. Most builder-grade bathrooms come with a giant, edge-to-edge, frameless rectangular mirror and a single bar of light straight above it. It's functional. It's also the exact same mirror in every single house on the street. Swapping it for a framed mirror, arched, round, a distinctive shape, paired with sconces on either side instead of the overhead bar, is one of the fastest ways to make a bathroom feel like it belongs to a boutique hotel instead of a spec home. Framed mirrors in the $80 to $200 range are widely available, and paired sconces can often be found for $50 to $150 for the pair. All in, a full primary bathroom, mirror and lighting refresh frequently lands under $350, and it's one of those changes guests notice immediately, even if they can't quite articulate why the bathroom suddenly feels nicer. Number 9, and this is the one where the price range genuinely depends on how big a bite you want to take. Flooring. Builders frequently cut costs with basic carpet or thin sheet vinyl, and it's one of the fastest ways a home reads as unfinished the moment you walk in. The good news is you don't have to redo the entire house at once. Vinyl plank flooring is a relatively easy, budget-friendly DIY project, and it's realistic to tackle high-traffic areas first: an entry, a hallway, a kitchen, rather than committing to the whole footprint immediately. Budget vinyl plank flooring runs roughly $2 to $5 per square foot for materials if you're installing it yourself, which means a mid-sized entry and hallway combo might only run $300 to $600 in materials. If your budget stretches further and you want the biggest possible return, engineered hardwood, stone, or porcelain tile are the upgrades designers point to as both looking the most custom and holding their value best over time. But those come with a materials cost that's meaningfully higher, plus labor if you're not installing it yourself. Start small. Start with the areas guests actually walk through first, and expand from there as budget allows. Number 10, and I'm ending on this one because it's the first thing anyone, a guest, a delivery driver, a future buyer, ever sees: your exterior. You don't need full board and batten siding, though as we covered, that's an option if you're ready for a bigger project. The cheap version is smaller and faster. Repaint the front door in a saturated, confident color. That's an under $100 can of exterior paint in an afternoon. Swap the builder's plain house numbers and mailbox for a more architectural font in matte black or brass, usually $30 to $80 total. Add a pair of simple planters flanking the entry, and if your budget allows, a small planting bed along the front walk. None of this touches structure, none of it requires a permit in most areas, and combined, these small curb appeal moves frequently run under $250 total, while completely changing the first impression of the house. So let's recap, cheapest to most involved: hardware, lighting, paint, window treatments, cabinet refacing, board and batten trim, tile accents, mirrors and vanity lighting, high-impact flooring, and curb appeal. None of these require moving a wall. None of them require a general contractor, unless you want one. And nearly all of them are things you can genuinely do yourself over a series of weekends. Now, remember that house from the very beginning of this video? The one with the beige exterior and the interior that looked like something out of a design magazine? I promised you the full walkthrough. And this is where a lot of videos would just cut to a photo and move on. We're not doing that. This home used exactly the tips on this list, in almost this exact order, over about 4 months of weekends. The entry, new house numbers, a repainted front door, and a single warm sconce replacing the builder's flush mount fixture. The living room, color drenched in a deep, warm green, walls trim, and ceiling all one shade, with a sheen stepped up on the trim so it still catches light. New linen curtain panels on either side of the window. A single statement pendant where a plain flush mount used to be. The kitchen, same cabinet boxes as the day they moved in, just repainted, with new long brass poles, and a small Zeller-style accent strip behind the stove instead of the flat white subway tile that came standard. And now, the primary bathroom, the one I mentioned at the very top of this video, and honestly, the best $50 transformation I've seen all year. The builder's giant edge-to-edge mirror is gone, replaced with a framed arched mirror they found secondhand and repainted themselves for about $15. The overhead light bar is gone too, swapped for 2 simple black sconces. And the real trick, they didn't retile the shower at all. They added a narrow band of pattern tile at eye level inside the existing shower niche, which used less than a single box of tile. That one detail is the thing every single person who walks into that bathroom comments on first. And it likely costs less than the pizza they ordered on installation night. Total spend across the entire house, tracked and added up receipt by receipt, a little over $3,000 spread out over 4 months. Compare that to what a full custom home upgrade package from a builder can run. Often tens of thousands of dollars tacked directly onto your mortgage, and the math isn't close. Here's the thing I want you to take away from this video. A builder-grade home isn't a downgrade. It's a blank slate. Every single homeowner in that 400-house development got the exact same starting point. What separates the houses that feel special from the houses that still feel like a model home 3 years later isn't square footage, and it isn't budget the way most people assume. It's whether someone actually made intentional decisions, one small upgrade at a time. You don't have to do all 10 of these tips this month. Pick one. Start with the hardware or the lighting, since those are genuinely the cheapest and fastest. See how much of a difference it makes. Then move to the next one when you're ready. If this helped, subscribe. I'm doing a full, priced-out breakdown video for every major room in the house over the next few weeks, starting with the kitchen cabinet refacing project in full detail, start to finish, with every receipt shown on screen. Drop a comment and tell me which one of these 10 tips you're tackling first. I read every single one, and I'll be pulling ideas from the comments for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.